welcome back to Vlogmas. Today we are checking off another one of our Christmas bucket list items, and that is making Christmas cookies. I'm so excited. We have a Christmas cookie swap tonight for practice, at cheer practice, and it is actually for all of Tennessee Titans Entertainment. So that's the cheer squad, which is dance and stunt. That's our blue crew, that's our majorette, that's all of our coaches. And that means we're gonna have to make a whole lot of cookies. Because we have to feed so many people, I've decided not to just do cookies and not to just do one dessert, but I'm gonna make 3 desserts. Because why not make it hard on us? I'm gonna be cooking all afternoon, and let me tell you, I'm thrilled about it. The 3 desserts I'm making are a brown butter Rice Krispie treat. I'm a brown butter enthusiast. If you've never made Rice Krispie treats or really any other bake with brown butter, guys, it's life-changing. You've got to start browning your butter anytime you use it. It's incredible. So we're gonna do brown butter Rice Krispie treats. We're going to do a brown sugar and maple cookie. And then the last one is going to be a version of a cake pop. So I'm gonna do the Little Debbie Christmas trees as the cake, and then cover it with white chocolate. And instead of doing it in the cake ball form on a stick, I think I'm gonna try to do them in more little bite-sized squares since we have to feed so many people. We're gonna do this all in one afternoon in just a few hours. It's a little ambitious. We're gonna see what we can get done. They all have very different methods and time frames. So we're gonna start with the cookie because those need to chill for about 2 hours. So we'll see how it goes, but let's get started. Butter for this recipe, so you know what we've got to do. We've got to brown it on the stovetop. Yes, of course. Looks like a caramel. It looks and smells so good already. I am so excited for these cookies. I also have a bunch of different types of vanilla that I use when I'm baking. I think a good vanilla paste makes all the difference. Today I'm using, this is bourbon vanilla bean paste from Trader Joe's. It's almost empty, so I hope I have enough, but this is one of my favorites. I think a good vanilla bean paste is a secret in your baking. so that cookie dough just went in the fridge to set and firm up for the next couple hours. That way it'll hold its shape a little bit better when they actually... Should I shape them? Should I put them in cookie dough or in Christmas cookie dough cutters? Is that gonna ruin it? I usually just scoop them out, ball them up, and put them on. What if I push them? Can I flatten them? Is that allowed? Oh. Do I risk ruining them for the cute Christmas cookie cutter shapes? You know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it in a couple hours. For now, we're gonna start on the cake pops. I'm a little bit experimental with this one. I've only ever cooked cake pops in the traditional way. Like I mentioned earlier, where you actually bake a cake like normal and then mix it with frosting. So doing it with the Christmas tree cakes, the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes, is new to me, and it's a little bit of a risk. I think it'll be easier. I've just never done it before, so I don't know exactly what the process or the details are going to be like, but I think it's worth the risk because it will save me so much time, and if it goes into a dumpster fire, I have 2 other desserts that can kind of act as my backup. So we're gonna put them out on a cookie sheet and put them in the freezer so they'll harden that way, and then I can cut them into squares. And then we have to dip them in chocolate, let them dry, let them harden, and then maybe decorate. So this will probably still take some time. So we need to get started. Okay, I'm gonna get out the cake pop dough and try to cut it. I'm nervous. The moment of truth. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what we were going for. And now I'm gonna dip it in chocolate and decorate it. Cute! Yay! Okay, now we're going to make the most magical Rice Krispie treat recipe of all time. First, we're gonna start by browning the butter because, of course, if we've learned nothing else from today, it's that we always brown the butter. Then I'm gonna add in a whole bag of marshmallows melted down, and then add in some marshmallow fluff, and that just keeps it extra soft and ooey gooey. Add in some of my special vanilla bean paste and a little bit of salt. Mix in the Rice Krispie cereal, and then add more marshmallows so they stay a little bit more whole, not quite melted all the way in. Even softer, even ooier, gooier. Mwah! It's amazing. Let's get started. delicious right now. And I'm very happy with how the Rice Krispie treats turned out. I'm gonna let those cool, and I'll probably cut them up before I actually go to practice so that they are already portioned. We don't have to worry about it when we get there, and that way I can save a little bit extra for my husband because I know he'll be wanting those. Those are his favorite. It's been a couple hours now. I think it's time I can take out the cookie dough and get started shaping those. So we have some really precious Christmas cookie cutters here that I would love to use, but I actually don't think this is as much dough as I was expecting. And remember, we've got to feed a crowd. I know I have a lot of treats, but I don't think it's going to be the best plan of action because these are also kind of big. That's pretty big for one cookie per the amount of cookie dough we have. So I think I'm just going to stick to carving it out with a ice cream scoop and leaving them in the shape of balls for this time. And maybe next Christmas cookie baking round, I will use the cookie cutters. Now it's time to coat the cake pops in chocolate. I'm going to try to use a toothpick because the squares are so small. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Usually I do cake pop in ball form that are a lot bigger, and the toothpicks, they just always fall off the toothpicks. I'm hopeful for this version, but we'll try it out and we'll adjust if we need to. Are what the finished products look like. I have extra of everything, so there's about 20 Rice Krispies, 20 cookies, and I don't know how many of the cake pops, just a bunch thrown in there, but this was the best way to transport them. So I'm gonna leave it like this, and then we have some to eat at home too. We did end up baking for 5 or 6 hours almost, a very long time. We took some breaks in there, I guess, but all afternoon for sure. My favorite was definitely the cookie. The cookie had the best flavor. The bottoms are a little crispy, but I thought they were really good. The maple glaze is great. Very closely followed by the Rice Krispie treats. The Rice Krispie treats are always just gonna be a solid go-to. They're so good. And then I'll say the distant third is the cake pop. only because we did try to do a drizzle of red on top and we couldn't get enough color to come through without either seizing the chocolate or making it too oily or giving it a weird texture, and it just kind of looked pink. It didn't really work out and they took forever. And because I did a smaller size, there's more chocolate than there is cake filling. So the white chocolate kind of overpowers it, and I'm not a huge white chocolate fan. So it didn't kill it for me, but it definitely lowered it in my stack ranking for sure. So I hope some white chocolate fans love those, because I think if you are a big fan of white chocolate, then they're really, really good. But I'm happy with how they came out, and it's time to get dressed. We're doing a festive practice, of course. So I gotta go through all of my festive outfits and pick out what I'm gonna wear for practice tonight. This is the Christmas sweater festive outfit of choice. So excited. I will be more bundled up than this because practice is outside tonight, but this is the ensemble. I'm gonna grab my treats, grab my coat, and head off to practice. That'll wrap up Vlogmas for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.